Hello, I am your Rusame reader, Crowsong, and today I will be reading to you from Royal Guard by Wright. I apologize once again for the sore throat, it's still here. Now, on to Chapter 2, Dining Hall. The Russian stared at the door for a while. Then he reached out for the handle and pushed the doors open. The wind came rushing to his face. The flaps of his hat danced around. He was blinded by the bright light. Eventually, the wind stopped and his vision cleared, giving him a full view of his surroundings. Loud chatter floated around from each corner of the room. The room he was seeing was no doubt a dining hall. It seemed the dining hall was also used as a main hall. An opening out of all the chairs and tables on the side created a path to another area of the headquarters. The wooden chairs and tables were all lined up in a straight manner. The roof was arched up and the room was lit with fancy lanterns and candles. There were approximately 4 fireplaces in this large hall. The roof was held up by large wooden pillars at the top. This may not seem fancy as the castle, but it was a very good headquarters for servants and guards. The Russian noticed a Christmas tree at the edge of the room, which means that the royals give their servants and guards the freedom to celebrate on their own. Russia swiftly shut the door behind him as he stepped inside. No one had noticed that he'd entered due to all of the loud chatter. Not that he minded anyway. He did need some help to find an empty room for him. He calmly scanned around the room for someone to ask, but everyone seemed preoccupied, except for one girl. The Russian walked up to her. "I'd like directions to..." "Oh my gosh, hi! You must be new here. I've never seen you around before. Are you a new guard? What's up with the outfit? That's not the usual guard outfit." She was quite talkative and loud. Eventually, everyone was staring at the two of them because of this one-sided conversation. "Well, I'm Bellers. Sorry for not mentioning my name before. You look very familiar. Anyway, what position do you work as?" She finally halted for a short while. "A new royal guard, and also America's personal guard," he said, his face unchanging. There was a sudden wave of chatter and murmurs from the crowd. Out of nowhere, Russia sensed a figure coming close and fast with speed. A guard popped out from the crowd and swung his sword at the Russian. He blocked it perfectly on time with the sword that he kept on his waist. Eventually, a circle of people formed around the two. "How ill-mannered are you? You're His Highness's personal guard, and yet you call him by his first name." They swung some more, Russia blocking all of the attacks very easily. "America has given me permission to mention him without honorifics. In fact, it was more of an order," he replied. "Are you lying or something? The prince has never allowed anyone here to do that, and we've been working here for years. Yet some newbie like you drops in unannounced and is suddenly favored by His Highness? I don't believe it." "I have no obligation to answer your questions." "Don't get cocky, new kid." He swung his sword a few more times, yet still failing to land a single hit or even sweep Russia off of his feet. Russia decided he had had enough of this stupid argument. He slid his sword back into its sheath on his waist and turned his back away. As he tried to walk off, the guard decided to attack him again and swung his sword from quite above since the guard had leaped beforehand. The Russian had no time to take out his sword again, but reacted quickly and grabbed the sword with his fabric gloves and hand. This gained a few gasps and murmurs from the crowd. Russia clenched the sword and sent it flying out of his hands with a simple tug. It landed on the floor with a loud clatter. Russia looked down at the now unarmed guard due to his abnormal height. If you still think that I am unworthy to guard the prince, I'd like you to know that I fought you with one arm behind my back the entire time, he said menacingly, yet his face still seemed the same as when they started, cold, emotionless, and calm. Then the taller male walked out without a word. The crowd made way for him to exit. He walked up to the Belarus girl again. "May I have directions to an empty room?" he repeated. "Of course! That was very impressive, I must say. But is your hand all right?" she said with a smidge of worry glazed on her eyes. The crowd had mostly dispersed already. Russia was probably going to be the new talk of everyone here, but he simply didn't give a flying fuck. "Yes, it's fine. I'm used to it. Please, after you." He did a slight bow while gesturing for her to walk first. "Well, okay." She leaped from her seat and skipped toward the path leading to another part of the headquarters. The hallway was fairly nice. It seemed to be well taken care of, apart from a few scratches and scrape marks on the wood, which Russia assumed was from guards having duels with one another. Eventually, she led him into a room at the corner of the hallway. She twisted the doorknob of the wooden door, and it creaked open slowly. It's a little dirty, since the last guard who used this place passed away around a decade ago. At least that's what I've been told. The Russian walked around the room and scanned it silently. All of the furniture was covered with a white cloth, and everything was coated in a thick layer of dust. "Should I clean up the room for you?" the young maid offered sincerely. "No, it's okay." "Well, okay. I'll come to check up on you later. Be at the dining hall for dinner, okay? Don't be late or I'll smack you. Even though I'm a frail maid, I can really pack a punch. So don't be late. Anyways, I'm rambling again. I'll leave you. Bye-bye!" She gave him an overecstatic wave and then shut the door behind her. Despite Russia's special abilities in fighting, he has an odd interest for cooking and cleaning since he was little, but he found it quite embarrassing. He let out a deep sigh before taking the broom at the corner of the room and starting to sweep the dusty floor. The dust swirled around the floor as a patch of clean wooden floor appeared and expanded. After that, he cleared out all of the white cloth, then taking a handkerchief out of his pocket and wiping down the windows. More steps were taken to clean the room. Eventually, hours passed in a flash. The room was looking cozy and clean now, although Russia kept a straight face up the entire time. He quite enjoyed it. It was like a stress-reducing mechanism for him. The large cut in his hand was hardly bothering him due to his high pain tolerance. He was just about to finish up before a familiar young girl bust through the door and announced, "Come on, it's dinner time already." Whoa, did you do all this? She admired the now clean room. Russia simply nodded in reply as he finished some of the last touches. "I don't have a clock," he added. "Jeez, slow brainer. Here." She threw a pocket watch at him, which he caught flawlessly. "But this is..." "Keep it. I'm giving it to you." She smiled at him. "Why?" he asked in a monotone voice. "I don't know. I just feel like I should look out for you, in a way. I can't really explain it, either." Her voice changed from a little sorrowful back to her immediately bubbly tone. "Thank you, ma'am." "I told you, my name is Belarus. No need to address me by that. It's kinda creeping me out. Besides, I'm younger than you. I'm sure my sister would love to meet you. Anyway, let's go for dinner now." "Forgive me, I have trouble memorizing names." "It's fine. Let's just go to dinner already. I'm starving." She skipped up to him and attempted to drag him by his arm. To no avail. They ended up walking side by side to the dining hall. When entering, Russia gained a few stares and murmurs, but it didn't bother him at all. Nothing really bothered him anymore. They sat across from each other, near the corner. Belarus munched happily on her food, while Russia stared at it for a moment before starting to eat. Suddenly, a man walked up to the two. It was the same man that attacked Russia this afternoon. Russia partly expected him to attack again, so he put up his guard. "I just want to say I'm sorry for this morning. I was just kinda pissed that you took the role that most of us wanted." "It's fine." "Wait, really? I expected you to be more pissed at me." The Russian ignored him and continued to eat his food. The man smiled happily and plopped himself in the seat next to Russia. "I'm Mexico. What about you?" America sat at a large, extravagant dining table with his family. They all chatted away happily as he sat there, extremely bored, while playing around with his vegetables. "How is the new royal guard, son?" his father chimed. America was caught off guard. "Oh, he is pretty interesting." "What? Big Brother has a royal guard? That's so cool!" the young girl exclaimed. She was 9 years old and short. "Yep, Big Brother has a guard now. Don't worry, you'll get one when you're older, Kiwi." The prince entertained his younger sister. His mother smiled at his younger sister before facing him. "How delightful. I do hope to meet the guard that has caught your interest. We all know how rare that is." His mother, France, smiled warmly at her son in a reassuring way. America appreciated his mom's kindness, but she also placed large expectations on him, so that's a downside to her. "I'll excuse myself from the table to go review my studies." The second oldest brother, Canada, stood up from his seat and bid everyone at the table farewell. Canada was a diligent kid. America thought he would make the perfect king rather than him, but everyone insisted that he stayed next in line for the throne. I want to get a new cage for Mac. He's getting too big for his cage. The third oldest brother, Australia, chimed in. America couldn't be bothered to listen to the rest of the conversations. He just silently thought to himself, I wonder if Russia's eaten yet. And that's the end of this chapter. I hope you have enjoyed. Once again, I must thank you. I didn't have anything lined up. Thanks for the suggestion. I needed it. All I had in mind was maybe a wonder shot or two. After that, I was in the dark. I really needed this suggestion on what to do next. Now I have something to do for the next two. Hopefully, we don't have a response on Shy Melody yet, so... Also, sorry if I sound terrible. I'm sick as a dog, so I am not sounding great. I am sorry. We also have a Discord. I tell y'all when I'm recording and when I am doing stuff. We also do some art sharing. If you have art you want to post, you can do that there. But that's all I have for you today. Sorry if I sound terrible. I'm sick right now.